All right, folks, in this video, I just wanted to show how to draw circles using the compass. This is something that I think a lot of people have trouble with based on the drawings, which is fine. It's a fine motor skill to be able to use one of these properly, so I'm just going to give some tips. So if I was going to draw, this was the outer circle. If I was going to draw the next smaller circle in here, which has a diameter of 3/4 of an inch according to my the drawing handout, half of 3/4 of an inch. If we do that math, just to do a little math here, 3/4. What we can do is cut both of these in half. So 3 becomes 1.5 when we cut it in half, and 4 cut in half becomes 1/8. If you remember, if we double the bottom, that gives us half of a fraction. So this is really 1.5 plus 1 1/8 gives us a total of 1.5 plus 1/8, which is really, what is this? 4/8, right? This is really 1 5/8. Whoops, 1 5/8. So that was to find the radius, so I can use the compass. If you already know how to find the radius, then don't bother with that. Don't confuse yourself. Just do it the way you know how to do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. So that's going to be my circle of a diameter of 3.25, but I had to find the radius to use my compass. So I can mark it. Then I'm going to place the point right here in the center, ideally in the same hole I used to draw the outer circle. Open this up to the correct distance. I wiggle it a little bit here so that I can make sure it's going to hit the mark right. And now here's the tricky part. I'm going to start up here. I see a lot of people trying to turn a compass directly from the top like this. The compass is likely to jump and skip around when you do it that way. So what I find works best is you actually tilt it, maybe not quite a 45-degree angle, but like a little up, a little more, maybe 60 degrees. And you start to drag it. And as you do, you kind of like lean into the compass, and you always keep it at that same angle to the paper as you go around. You may need to reposition, swing your arm. And what can also help is if you put a little bit of pressure just downward here at the point with your other hand, that can help keep this part from coming out of the paper. And that's going to give you a pretty nice sweep. Sometimes you want to come back, maybe hit it up again. You don't want to push. You don't want to do it in that way. You only want to drag. And now here we can see I'm actually missing the circle a little bit, and it's getting a double line. That may be because my circle diameter changed, or I pushed so hard on this that the legs of the compass spread apart. So that can happen too, is you can end up with this like spreading action of the compass, and you'll get lines like that. The other problem is I may not have gotten this right back in the center. So sometimes that's how it's going to come out. What's going to be better is if you just get it right the first time, and that will be the best way to do it. But that takes some time to learn that. Let me do one more here. This one is now just a diameter of 3. So I'm going to just make a mark at 1.5. This is for that last little circle on the clock. We'll get in here. Make one last circle here, and that will be a nice demo video for your viewing pleasure. So again, get it in the circle there, get it in the same hole you had before. I think I actually missed. Yep, you can see. So it's not perfect. Well, actually, that is pretty perfect. My original sizing was what was off, but I got it in the same hole, so it's nice and centered within that. So that's going to happen sometimes. When you come back at the end, you can clean that up. Get in there with that eraser shield to clean up some of these ugly spots. And you do actually want to avoid using these pink erasers. You really want to use the white ones. What happens is the pink will smear onto your paper, and it'll leave you a pink mark on your page. So that is just something to note. And that is a sort of technique for drawing the circles. All right, remember, lean into it a little bit. You don't have to hold it perfectly straight up, and you can hold it up here, or even sometimes choke up on it a little bit and use your other finger to press it down in the middle. So I hope this helps some people.